Today, we're going to see how to install a Promenaid handrail on the wall using the new sprocket lock L bracket. For a sprocket lock L bracket, it's going to attach to the wall using one of our new sprockets. And the sprocket has a center hole that you use to fix it to the stud. To install them, all we have to do is drill a pilot hole. So the lower bracket we're going to put right here. Now I'm going to change my drill for a socket driver. This is a 2.5-inch lag bolt that's supplied with the sprocket and the rest of the L bracket kit. But you can use almost any fastener to attach this sprocket to the wall because all of the sprocket and the fastener will be hidden by the bracket. And that means that if you have, for example, steel studs, you may want to use a butterfly connector. Or if you have concrete, you could use a concrete anchor or Tapcon type screw. Whatever you need to attach securely to the wall, as long as it doesn't exceed 5/16 of an inch in diameter, you can use to attach the sprocket to your wall member. So I'm just going to put this one in here. And I'm going to repeat it at the other end. Now, here's the fun part. The L bracket is made in 3 pieces. There's this L-shaped part that will sit right on top of the sprocket. There's another component that goes in front. And finally, there's a barrel that we're going to install from below to clamp it all together. But before we put this one on, I'm going to add this little O-ring to fill the gap between the bracket and the wall. An alternative to the O-ring is to use a rosette, optionally, that would be sandwiched between the sprocket and the wall. And the rosette is handy if you need to distribute the force of the bracket over a larger area. So say, for example, your wall is made out of a fragile sheetrock, or if it's any other surface that you wish to protect, or you're worried about the surface finish of the wall, you can use this rosette and just place it between the sprocket and the wall when you're attaching the sprocket with the lag bolt. The rosettes are available in 2 sizes. This is the large one for extra spreading of the load. There's a smaller rosette about 2 inch in diameter that's handy for mounting on tile or on glass. But since we don't have the rosette, we're going to use the O-ring to take up the gap, and we're going to place the bracket in this place like that. I'm just going to add the other O-ring on the other side and hang the second bracket. Now, with our brackets holding in place, we can attach the railing. You can note that the brackets can angle to whatever direction to match the angle of the stairs or the slope that you're installing the railing on. Now I'm going to take the front portion of the sprocket lock L bracket and I'm going to angle it into place into the channel of the railing and push it towards the wall to clip it temporarily while we install the other brackets. Now, all we have to do is install these barrels on the bottom of the brackets with the supplied screws to clamp it all together tightly. Once your handrail has been installed and firmly attached to the wall with the sprocket lock L brackets, all we have to do is finish it off. And to do that, we're going to add vinyl extrusion that clips underneath the rail between the brackets, and we're going to add either an end cap or a wall return to terminate the railing. Now, in this example, I'm going to show you how you can use a 90-degree sprocket lock bend as a wall return and eliminate one bracket. I've disassembled the railing and added a channel grip connector to the end of my channel grip tubing. We're ready to replace the railing on the wall, but this time using a 90-degree bend as a wall connection. Just like the bracket, you can attach the 90-degree bend to a sprocket directly on the wall, or you can sandwich a rosette between the sprocket and the wall to create a more distributed load on the wall. We're going to put the connector right on the sprocket. We're going to put the railing in place. We're going to hold it there while I install the second half of the 90-degree bend. When I tighten the screws, the bend will clamp on the sprocket on the wall, on the channel grip connector, and this end of the railing will be secure. I'm leaving it a little bit loose until I get the bracket installed at the other end. That we're going to do the same way as before. Here comes the barrel. Two socket screws. Now it's time to tighten up the socket screws on the 90-degree wall connection. So there you have it, a Promenaid channel grip railing attached to the wall with a sprocket lock L bracket, a 90-degree wall connection used as a termination. This arrangement can hold about 1,000 pounds, and all we have to do now to finish it off is to add these little plugs to cap off the holes where the socket screws were, and cut a strip of vinyl anti-slip extrusion to pop in place in the channel to provide a nice comfortable grip and finish off the job. Demonstrate how you can make smooth, continuous bends in handrail or guardrail or grab bars without mitering or custom bending or welding using Promenaid sprocket lock technology. The channel grip railing is a similar connector. It also has a V-groove and a tooth gear, and it slips into the inside of the channel like that, and it's attached with 3 set screws. Finally, finish off with 2 set screws on the inside of the channel. Now that I've got channel grip connectors on 2 pieces of channel grip railing, I'm going to show you how we can connect them together using Promenaid sprocket lock bends. Bends are available in a number of preset angles. This includes 90 degrees, 32 degrees, 14 degrees, 5 degrees, and 0 degrees, which is really not a bend at all, so we call it a collar. Each one of the bends is made in 2 pieces that clamp together using the supplied socket screws. Each sprocket lock bend has a rib V and a series of small bumps on the inside. The V will fit in the V groove of the connector, and the bumps will engage with the teeth to prevent rotation. Now, you can use a single bend to create a fixed angle like this 90 degree. You install the set screws and the whole arrangement becomes very strong and secure. The 32 degree bend is also useful for standard stairs, and 5 degree bend comes in very handy when you're going from a horizontal railing to a slope of a standard ramp. But the cool thing about sprocket lock bends is that you can combine them in any combination to create other bends of any angle desired. So for example, if we wanted to go around a 45 degree angle, we would take a 32 degree bend and we would add the sprocket. This is the heart of the system. Looks kind of like an Oreo cookie. It has not 1 but 2 V-grooves, and not 1 but 2 geared wheels on the outside. And that means that you can use a sprocket to make a joint between 2 bends. In this arrangement, I've added a 32 and a 14 to give approximately 45 degrees to go around a 45 degree corner. So here's where it gets really cool. If you can't create exactly the angle you require using 2 sprocket lock bends, you can create any custom angle, any angle at all, with 3 sprocket lock bends. And the key to that is to arrange the 3 bends so the 2 on the outside are exactly the same type. Let me give you an example. Let's say we want to create a 50 degree bend. We're going to start with the closest one that does not go over, and that would be a 32. Now we're going to add to the outside of the 32 two identical bends that together exceed the 50. So I'm going to go with two 14-degree bends that would normally take us up to 60 degrees. Now I'll fit them on the railing and I'll clamp them together. And I'll attach them using the socket screws that are provided with the bends. I've got a 4mm ball head Allen key that's going to make this job go a lot faster than the standard L-shaped Allen key. Now, when I first tighten the parts together, I'm not going to bear down all the way on the screws. I'm going to leave them a little bit loose so that everything can still swivel. You'll see why in a minute. So there's our 60-degree corner. To turn it into 50 degrees, all I have to do is counter-rotate the middle piece. So it requires a little bit of manipulation. If you'll notice here, the two outer bends are still lined up, but the center 32 has been counter-rotated. And what that does is change the geometry so that what was a 60-degree angle is now a 50-degree angle. I can go all the way down to a lower angle on this bend, but I've selected this combination to make a 50-degree angle in the smoothest way possible. So let's say this is 50. Next step would be to align the outer channels. And when everything is in a perfect arrangement, I can tighten it all down. By tightening those screws, I've locked the V lip into the V channel of the various connectors, and I've engaged the little bumps on the inside of the bends with the teeth on the sprockets. So the entire arrangement has become very solid. It's exactly the 50-degree angle that we were looking for. The channels are arranged downwards so that we can clip brackets into them, and the whole assembly has created a smooth bend, a strong bend, without any welding, without any mitering, without any gluing, without any custom fabrication whatsoever. That's how sprocket lock bends work.
Now, since the day we invented Promenaid railing with its patented channel grip extrusion, the channel that's underneath the rail that we use to install brackets and end caps and all the fittings has been crying out for LEDs. But the challenge was how to create LEDs that were as easy to install and as modular as the rest of our system. Rather than go with full-length strip LEDs, we opted for high-intensity modules that can be installed at intervals along the railing and to create nice cones of light below the railing for an elegant look that is customizable because you can put in as many or as few of the LED modules as you require. Each one of these modules consumes only 2 watts, but creates a high-intensity beam with a nice 3200 Kelvin warm color temperature. And to install a module, it's as simple as clipping it inside the channel and attaching it with 2 set screws that are supplied. There we go, as easy as that. Each of these modules is supplied with about 24 inches of jumper wire on either side. And that means that you can attach one module to the other, daisy chain them in fact, for as long as you want, up to 48 modules on one Class B transformer. You just connect the black wire to black wire and red wire to red wire, or add jumper wires between black and red if you need to place the modules farther apart than 4 feet. And because they only run on 24 volts, which is a standard for LED lighting, you don't need an electrician in order to run these low voltage wires. And the wires run right inside the channel. So there's no fishing, there's no difficult wiring. In fact, the connections can be made using standard Moretz or wire nut connectors, and everything will tuck in there nicely and be covered up when you clip in
Promenaid anti-slip vinyl extrusion. The extrusion fits right up to the side of the module, and it has the same profile. So when you glide your hand along the railing, you can barely tell the presence of the module. I've installed one of the Promenaid LED modules on this miniature wall to show you how it fits and integrates with the handrail assembly. So the diameter of the module is the same as that of the railing, and the same as that as the vinyl extrusion. So you have one nice smooth round grip along its full length. I've shown the vinyl extrusion covering up the wires on this side, but left it off to show you how the wires tuck neatly inside the channel on the other side. And you can bring the power in either through a bracket or through, in this case, one of the 90-degree bends that we're using to terminate the railing. In fact, you can bring the power in at any Promenaid fitting, anywhere along the line, because all of the modules are in parallel, so they can be powered at any point. And one last detail to note, just like the Promenaid handrail, this module is suitable for indoor, outdoor use, even in wet environments. All we have to do now is power it up and show you how it looks. I've got a small 24-volt power supply here that we're going to use to demonstrate the LED module. But I should also mention that you can use a dimmer or any third-party app, including Alexa or Google Home, to control these LED modules just as you would other LED strip lights. Here we go. Power, ground, and there you have it. If you already have a Promenaid handrail installed, you can retrofit Promenaid LED modules at any time. Let there be light.